Hi there, we're going to solve this worded problem using elimination. Now first, we have to underline or highlight our important information. We have a total of $40. We have silk at $10, cotton at $4, and we have a total of 7 scarves. With that information, we need to set up 2 equations. So I'm going to let C equal cotton and S equal silk. It's important to identify your variables so anyone following it knows what you're doing, as do you when you look back later. So now I need to set up some equations. I've got one relating how many I have, so my silk scarves plus my cotton scarves total to 7 scarves. So that's my first equation. Then I can write another equation relating the cost. So if I have 2 silk scarves at $10 each, that would be 20. So that's a multiplication. So I'm going to say 10 times no matter how many scarves I have, plus 4 times no matter how many cotton scarves I have, is going to total $40. Because they're $4 each and they're $10 each. So now I have my 2 equations. I'm going to identify those equations. So I'm going to start using multiplication to make them the same. Now, remembering when we're doing elimination, it's up to you whether you make the S's the same or the C's the same. This one, I'm going to decide to make the C's the same because it's a little bit easier. I can multiply by 4, and I think that's easier for me because it's smaller numbers. If you want to multiply by 10 instead to make your S's the same, you can. Now remember, you need to multiply the whole equation, not just the value you're eliminating. So I have 4S plus 4C equals 28. I'm not going to rewrite my second equation because you can see it's nicely in the correct spot anyway. And this is equation 1 times 4. Then you need to decide, are you subtracting or are you adding? 4C and 4C. To make them 0, I'm going to subtract. And remember our little hint. If the signs are the same, okay, so same signs, we're always going to subtract. If the signs are different, you're going to add. Our signs are both positive, so we're going to subtract. So now I need to subtract everything in the second line from the first line. So 10S minus 4S is 6S. These two cancel, which is exactly what we want. And 40 minus 28 is 12. So I end up with 6S equals 12. What math is being done between the 6 and the S? That is multiplication. The opposite is division. So I'm going to divide them both by 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So S equals 2. Now that's not finished. We know how many silk scarves we have, but how many cotton scarves do we have? So you need to take your value of S equals 2 and put it into one of these equations. I think number 1 is easier, so I'm going to use that one. It doesn't make any difference which one you use, you'll get the same result. So I'm going to say 2 plus C equals 7. Now this 2 value wasn't in the initial equation, but it is what S equals. So that's where the 2 came from. And then I'm going to solve it. So how do I get rid of plus 2? I subtract it. So C equals 5. Now with a worded problem, you should always answer it in words. So you would have Hind bought, what did she buy? She bought 2 silk scarves, because that's what you've allowed S to equal. And 5 cotton scarves. And that is your final answer. So just remember, with a worded problem, answer it in a sentence so that you're showing you understand what the question's actually asking and you've answered it in context.